Yes, nice evening for sure. And everything worked in one go. I didn't mess anything up. Lovely. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, nice evening for sure. Yes, indeed. And this is a nice setup, by the way, in a Danish insurance company. That's really good. It's gonna blast and just run from 165 or whatever, all the way up. Good dividend though. Yeah, I guess that's the big question, right? Why isn't the miners following suit? Let's have a look. We do the bigger silver guys divided by silver. So clearly, but you can also see here. Oh, wow, it's getting hammered. Jesus Christ. I assume, again, who knows, that this is because of Canada not being open, so the volume potentially, I don't know. But yeah, of course we want the miners to outperform. I think this is a blow off top to the downside though. But let's check the SILJ. Wow, boom. Interesting. That is interesting, yeah. I think if we hold these levels for silver, over Monday until the US market opens, I think this is gonna reverse heavily. Because if you're looking at the OTC stuff, right, which again is basically you have no liquidity in that kind of thing, over the counter, equity, metals, you basically have no liquidity. And this is the main one, right, on Canada. Then you have the OTC one, which is open today, is up 10%. And basically all of the silver guys, the smaller ones, are up 10-15%. So I think that's the reason. I think the reason is that Canada is closed. Again, I could be wrong though, it's just me. But yeah, this is again equity metals, in my view, just a must own, really. That's a no-brainer, 5x easily. Boom, look at that. Look at the beauty of... Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Again, feel free to ask any questions, Look at that, this is just lovely. We could have a retest and all that good jazz, I know, but overall, this is really good. Here is the Canadian one. So to me, equity, and one that I'm way too loaded in, I think, is again we finally left the 0.32 0.33, and again a 5x is just, to me, seems like the obvious target, man. So yeah, the last time we had this, we were in the 80s. So I think you mean the gold silver ratio now. Yeah, I think we were just hovering. Yeah, we were just at like 80 or something, right? I think you're referring to the to the most important ratio. Have they just been resetting the entire thing? Or just me being an idiot? Look at that here. This was a good decade, yeah, for sure. The best music ever was made in the 80s. And I'm born in 86, so. But this one here, to me, right? Oh, look at that. It was just, as we called it, anything below 78, right there. And we will see a collapse. Did I expect it to just completely blow out to the, you know, the bottom? I don't know. But we take it. We definitely take it. EQMTE, what is that? EQMTY? E? I don't know this one here. But the equity one here on Canada, EQTY, is, to me, again, yes, we could have that pullback there, but overall, these kind of setups here, it again, completely flat weekly Bollinger Band for like 2 years, momentum pressing through. We just broke levels. I love that one. Right or wrong, I'm going long on that kind of setup with a huge size every time. Every damn time. Look at the monthly Bollinger, by the way. Piercing it, boom. It's lovely. It's one of those small guys that is only 100 million, and you know it. Why can't it be 1 billion? Right, 10x. I don't know. It's just me. But yeah, next up for me is 2.2 here or whatever. I don't know. Again, what happened there? I do not know. That's strange. Yeah, Tower Resources. Copper looks insanely good. Absolutely value. And we need to have that session of a fortnight, I guess, as well. What is it? Tower Resources? Yeah. I hate commercials. For fuck's sake. Commercials in between Depeche Mode? That should be a death penalty. What is the ticker, by the way? And why can't I? Tower Resources LSE? Oh, I guess that's yeah. I think it looks good. Okay. I mean, yeah, I really don't mind. This is first time looking. I will say this again, the better entry easily was down here. Again, you know these ones, we look for those every day, so little pullback there, you know, the little flag before breaking. That's cool. But yeah, I'm digging this one here. It looks really good. Small guys who keep the sizing small as always. So First Majestic is roughly 25. That will be roughly all-time highs. So 23, 25 will be. We can have a look. There it is. You can see here 22, 20, 25 up here. We're hitting prior highs and all that good jazz. So that's where I think we're gonna see some. Did it only do 1% today? That's strange. That's really strange. Wow. Anyway, because that is on the New York Stock Exchange, so it should be open, yeah. Okay, that's weird. That is really weird. Anyway, 22, 25 here, roughly. But it's gonna break through. It's gonna break through. It's gonna break through here. I go into. It's gonna hit. I think when this is all said and done, it should reach like it could reach 100. again, this is the first major, and this is how long, by the way, down here at $7-8 down here on that triangle. So that's really good. Yeah, it could reach 100. But again, it won't be for long, right? So it could reach those numbers. We have this whole sideways almost wedge, right? Almost, not perfect, but yeah. We could also check the long fib here. The low from to there. Hey, 100% measured move, 98. Would you have thought that? Fibonacci extension. We're just checking fibs here. I think 42 is a no-brainer. Once we start to break this stuff here, that's a no-brainer, really. 42, no-brainer. So, yeah, what a precision, yeah. So again, do we get there? I don't know, but it is definitely, you know, an option. Most definitely. With a pit stop here, by the way. So rarely, I haven't seen 10% for silver ever. I want to check something really funky here. Look, our 2 hourly momentum here. If I can find the tweet, let's check the tweet here. Oh, piece of shit. Let's see here. There it is. My 2 hourly time for momentum structure. If that blue line gives in and break that, we could see silver in, you know, roughly 100 very quickly. And what happened here today? Boom, and we did 10%. Breakout, back test. Perfect. I mean, come on, isn't that? I love momentum structures. They're so good. 10% after breaking that level on the 2 hourly. Well, this, I mean, it's great. It's good. I love it. My only concern is, and you know this one, we're looking for these kind of things. If we start to see some really big red candles now, I'm just saying if, because that's an option, right? Again, we're getting like 2x roughly the average volume in on a very large green candle at the highs. If we start to see some nasty red candles, which again, it doesn't sound, you know, like it's a possibility now, but just look out for those kind of candlesticks on the daily. But again, I want to show you something here. One, if we hold these levels here, if we don't get anything really, you know, nasty on, you know, during the Monday, you know, leading up to the US Open, I mean, it's kind of, I would, if the miners doesn't, again, it's just one day, who cares, but again, if the miners doesn't do something really good there, then it gets a little bit, you know, weird. But yeah, Monday could be really sick. 88 in Shanghai. Yeah, 88. Really? 88? 88? Wow. Yeah, the gold silver ratio, man. It's just hammering through right now. You can see here, we've talked about this kind of like zone here between roughly 62 and 65, and we said if it wants to do like a pullback here, that's where it's gonna do it, right? And nope, it just broke straight through. I want to check something here. Are we also breaking that? I mean, holy. But again, how vertical can you go, really? It's just you rarely see this. But again, look at this. This was over in. I want to show you something here. Right. Same kind of vibes that we're getting, with a bit of a Trump tariff anomaly there. I think you can get the idea. So, Conrad. Yeah, I agree. You know, there should be, again, should be some sort of resistance here. But as you can see, we talked about roughly 72, 75, 76 maybe. We're having this double confluence here of resistance. But for now, at least, unless we have, you know, that big daily candle reversal or whatever, it seems to be, it doesn't give a damn. So, and that's again, of course, if we just pierce through here these two mega resistances, it's, I mean, that's insanely strong, really. So, yeah, the price in the east is, you know, in charge, and is, as long as that one goes up, the COMEX and all that LBMA stuff, it just, you know, it follows suit. And platinum, man, holy shit. That, again, this is your, that was your ticket, 1,000-ish. Look at that, absolutely crazy. And yeah, it has gone way quicker than I've thought. And also my first big target, 1,900 for platinum, it didn't even care. It's just completely overperforming. I mean, it's sick. It's good, but oh yeah. Did I miss anything here? Are you happy with the Santa? What do you mean, Conrad? I didn't see that message. Silver Siku. Yeah, I know that one. It was a small guy, right? I think it pulled back. We do the daily here. Yeah, textbook, to me at least here, breakout, doing a back test here. 15 minute here. Yeah, you can buy here, but again, we'll just wait for the breakout high. It's also a good option to confirm it. Again, it still looks really good. You have broken out, you do the back test. So as long as we basically hold, I will say this low here, 7.77 roughly, or maybe 7.5. It's all good. Again, we don't have much data, and it's but if you want to get in, that would probably be the point on the chart. So yeah, silver. I mean, yeah, could be value. Could be. Yeah, that's a good one, Mark, there with the COVID low. Sometimes you need to take that out of the equation. I agree. You need to sometimes. But then again, you know, that low was the absolute, you know, fear. So I don't know. Could. Silver miners with this is either the massive opportunity. I see it as a massive opportunity mode. The miners again. I really do. If we hold these levels here, and of course if we go higher during Monday, I think it's a massive opportunity. Yeah, looking at silver, Conrad, and platinum, it's been nice. It's good. I'm always so worried about these mega candles after such a move down. But again, you know, I want to show you something here. I just need a little bit of time here to actually try to show my thoughts. It's not perfect or anything, but I just want to show you a fractal. Stop that. I want to show you a fractal here between silver and actually cocoa. I talked about this one like a year ago. Let's see here. Just give me 2 seconds and feel free to ask questions. So again here, there are I will say some resemblance between cocoa and silver. And remember, silver is by far the biggest shorted commodity, in the complex, and cocoa was number 8. Right? Cocoa was number 8. So you can see here the highs of 1980s. Again, sloping up a little bit, but I think you get the idea. And this is, of course, the cup and handle on silver, right? So you can see similar vibes. And then we had this one here. Also, again, something that went way, way quicker than I would have thought. Lesson learned, by the way, 2 years ago. I was long from here, and I took profit at the highs here on cocoa. And you can see here it just didn't give a damn. The setup are very similar, and you can see here that's the thing I'm looking at on silver. And again, you have the whole complex here, the same kind of vibes. So it seems like we are having a similar squeeze, right? It seems like it, but with silver now, and again, silver is by far the most shorted commodity. So again, it could go really quick, and it won't stop, right? It just won't stop until it does, of course. But yeah. Maybe if we do the so yeah, that's just my view there. I think there are big similarities between the two. And cocoa was a big squeeze, years and years of keeping cocoa down until the physical took over, and then all of a sudden you have like a beep ton of stuff to catch up to. So that moment there was the 26 on silver, by the way. This is cocoa. I see the same thing right there. That was the 26, and you can see what happened after breaking 26 on a commodity that is far less shorted. It did 300% straight out of the gate. Didn't look back. So that's so interesting. Did I forget someone there on the in the chat option? By the way, feel free to chat, ask questions. Having a bit of a late night stream here, just for the fun of it, right? With silver being up like 10%. You rarely see that. Momentum also coming in, hitting the 2011 momentum very soon on silver. So how do you even draw this, by the way? I don't know. Yeah, the producers, yeah, they're gonna be... I actually have a funky ratio where we adjust for oil. I think I do, anyways. Yeah, it's gonna... That is funky. It should... This one should snap back. It really should. Again, could be wrong. Where are you? I have gold miners here. Okay, this is gold miners, where you take into account oil and the price of silver. And they are just printing money like no other, right? Hasn't been this good. Yes, we have the anomaly here with the whole COVID where oil went negative. You can't really do that, use that. So, but yeah, gold miners are printing big time. Big time. And if we do silver instead, all the silver, there they are, should work. Yeah, you can see the same vibes here on silver, right? They are just... They're making a lot of money. But again, there's not a lot of pure silver miners in this complex here, so... Total market cap crypto against gold. It doesn't look too good for crypto. It looks good for gold though. Right? Looks good for gold. A lot of, stuff breaking up here. So EC, yes, I think EC did a yeah. We can do that. Let's take a look here. EC here to me still looks okay. Just won't have one line on basically. You can see here breaking out, doing. It's holding on. Right, we had along there, so we're still looking okay to me here. But of course, our safety line from this one here is very easy to place. Anything below the blue and the golden there, and you want to rethink your start, your position. PBR. PBR, man, it just can't seem to. Again, adjust for silver. You can see if we don't adjust here, it looks insane, doesn't it? Oh, look at that! Holy. I mean, that looks absolutely insane. Yeah, in 10 years' time, or like 5 years' time, holy. And you can see the level here. 18 is just so important. And we're just boom, boom, right. So it is trying to charge here, but it just can't seem to. It needs to break this flag here, obviously, and that would also be a great buy. It's funny how, adjusting again, they pay so much dividend though, 9%. DMAT. Let's have a look here. Denarius. I don't know. I haven't seen that one before. Again, I'm not saying this won't do okay, but again, compared to others, it just hasn't really been doing anything. Right. So I wouldn't be, again. There's not a lot of good things going on here. There are way better options, in my view. Again, of course, if we start to break the highs of this one here, again, you could go on a little bit of a move, but all the others that has already performed quite nicely should do way better than this one. So I'm not really a huge fan of it. I found a blanket. I found a blanket. Dividends? Oh yeah, on the Denarius metals on the OTC. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it can't, run, but it needs to break that 0.7, right? And even then, you don't really have a bottoming structure. You don't really have more like a bear flag going on, so a tricky one. But again, if we get that move in silver and the miners, yeah, of course it should do okay, but it should do okay. But I think there are better options. But yeah, I think you get the idea. It's holy, what is this? What is this? Good old platinum breaking out against gold, it seems, right? Holy. Oh, almost, or about to. These are 3-month quarterly candles, by the way. 200% outperformance. And gold will not go down. That's pretty good. And that would actually put us at 1.6 the price of gold. That's crazy. That is crazy, right? What if, for fuck's sake, man. Yes. Vale News something? LSE? Oh, I guess. What is that? What the marine shipping? Yeah, shipping. I haven't checked it this week, actually. You know, bit of a funky chart, to be honest. You know, we have curvature, which is always difficult to get right. Just like we have on XLE, I think, similar. I need some help. I guess, you know, above 110 or so, 110 should be okay. Yeah, it's not the worst, no. I'm just trying to. That breakage there was pretty nasty. Coming down here, breaking down sideways. Yeah, 110 and above, and it starts to look okay again. XRP, oh yeah, XRP. Long-term XRP actually has an amazing structure. Not that one though. XRP. I'll go to my crypto tab here. It's been a while. I actually think, you know, this again here was where I bought my portion. I do have some crypto, believe it or not. I do have some. 0.66 was actually when Trump got re-elected, and I've just been holding it again. But overall, I think XRP on the long time frame looks quite okay. I really do. And you can see, oh, okay. Interesting. It's been a while, to be honest, since I've been looking at crypto. This one here should. We will have a very important moment coming up here, and we will see price go fast either way. Look at this little triangle here. To me, it seems like we could have a big breakout here. If we can start to climb back above like 2, maybe 1.95 or so. Again, that to me would be a good opportunity. And you can have a stop below the recent low if you want to. Of course, we do not. It needs to be a big move actually. We do not want to break below here. Right. It could be that as well. But I think we're gonna get a reaction here if we can break out. We could see 50% or something, right? Oh, 30% easily. I mean, now we're looking at very long-term stuff here, but so depending on how you measure the XRP long-term chart is actually quite remarkably, you know, good looking. it just depends what happens here, right? Do we get a topping formation and then go down further, or can we finally somehow break free? Silver. Santa Cruz, silver. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you, Conrad. I'm an idiot. I completely misunderstood your. Yeah. Yes, I do. I absolutely do believe so. Again, would I buy it here? No. There is a difference, right? I still think we're gonna rally or run. We're now at 13. We're gonna run to 30. And then target is hit. One of my best calls, to be honest. Long since too. Which corresponds to 0.44 after the split, or before the split. And we like the, again, we could easily overperform here. So. That's better. That's way better. Yeah, that's way better. The yellow one there. So yeah, it still has 100% or something until the target. Absolutely. And this trade here was basically at the time, it was basically like a one-liner to me, breaking out here. Long, and then again this stuff here to me also looks like head and shoulder. The neckline was 2.5, and then we trigger this move up to there. So from 1, that's amazing. That's really cool. That's really cool. From 1, that's nice. That's lovely to hear. I'm long since 2 or 0.44 on the old. On the old one, or the old. Oh, SPSW. Oh, I'm getting tired. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Old drawings here. Getting close to my target, which was again above 5.5. Target 20. Target 20. So and are we going to break that at one point in time? I think so. Yes, of course we are. But that is the first big target coming. Or the second, we had the third one here, or the first one here, the red there. Tiny pullback, and then we just smashed through. BRC, oh, that's a monster looking stock. Absolutely insane. We have some green lines here again. These are all entries made to the stop stack. It looks godly good. Again, maybe some resistance here, but again, who cares? If you're long from lower levels, I wouldn't change much. We still have a big flag target, which is at least 2, maybe even 2.6. But yeah, it has. It looks amazing. It looks. I have nothing. It looks insane. Good gains, you say? What is that? Focus metals? It's one of those, right? Focus minerals on the ASX. Do we dare? What happened here? Has to be news, right? Ooh, that's a lovely entry. Oh, that's pretty good. find it here. Dook, 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 dook. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, did we pull back here at the end? It only says set. Oh, it's corrected. Okay, never mind. Oh my god, the spread between what's it called? What is that? Why is it doing that? But the spread right now is $2.2 for a spot price over future pricing. Oil just can't seem to break that. I mean, come on. Come on, really? It just can't seem to. We are sitting now at the Trump tariff. No, that's not Trump tariff. That's over here. Oh, that was the manipulation. Look at that. This one here, again, copper dropped 20% or so in like 4 minutes. Something, shady stuff happened there, and we are back up again at that point. I just found that interesting on. I just found that interesting. But yeah, it looks really good. For uranium, we should be close. Again, if my views are correct, we should be close with the uranium thing here. I think one shot will. Again. I think we are up for a bigger move for uranium. And the coil needs to spring to the upside, right? Of course. So, but it needs to hold. I think the first week here, or how many days do we have left of trading actually for this thing? Maybe 1 or 2. So the first week in 2026 will be like the first few weeks, 1 week maybe only, should be very telling for uranium. It has underperformed. I mean, not underperformed, but it has pulled back a lot, more than I originally would have thought here. On this whole thing here. How far did we come down? We came all the way down to here, so yeah, this spring here is definitely, a bit more downside than what I would have expected it to be. Oklo. Yeah, it needs to hold here, right? It 5% today. Again, it's holidays. So it should hold here. Maybe make a little bit of a wick low here. But yeah, we will see, over the next week or so for uranium if. But to me here, I mean, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. The last little flag here, anything north of 27, and then of course 28 here, and we trigger a massive setup that should take the spot price 50 to 100%, given how much, or depending on how much overperformance we get, and that will lead the miners as well. So But yeah, we definitely pulled back a lot more than I would have thought. Mega uranium looks pretty damn good still. Denison Mines also breaking the bull flags and all that. So yeah, interesting. Did you have a good Christmas Eve? Or I hope so. That's a mega candle right there. Holy. Three monthly time frames. That's a long time frame. That's a very, very long time frame. This is silver against the SP 500. I mean, that is pretty, that's really good, isn't it? Oh, that's an old drawing I had there. Cool. That is pretty darn bullish. Not gonna lie. You know, this is the silver, you know, completely showing that, you know, silver is a better play. Gold is a better play than the SPX. Gold miners, platinum, palladium. Right. I think gold has already been breaking the SPX, so that is just... Yeah, I think so. I think metals in general will do really well in 2026. Again, we might have a... Again, it won't go in a straight line, of course, but we will probably have a longer consolidation at one point in time. But yes, I do believe so. I do believe so. 2026. And the overall markets doesn't look too bad, really. Not yet, at least. So yeah, I think so. So let me know if you have any last, you know, questions here before we call it a day. That's again in this 2024-2025 uptrend in favor of gold against uranium spot price. We need to break down from that, of course, in order to see some capital go into the uranium spot price or the spot physical. But we did get all the way back here to the waterfall level. That is quite cool. Oh, we can't do that here, yeah, for sure. So yeah. Did we hit target here? Yep. Perfect target hit. Look at that. Boom. Oh, big decision coming in here. Look at the compression on the daily Bollinger Bands. Of course, if we start to break here, I mean, that will be in favor of gold. However, if we do not, then we will start to churn over, most likely. So again, big moment, in my view, coming up for uranium and the entire complex in the first few weeks here of 2026. And given what we've seen from this whole Vikov thing, it should be to the upside. Should be to the upside. Silver miners. Yeah, sleep well. I will just look at this one here. This is URA divided by SIL. Do we have some supply and demand here, or some like a zone, support zone? I think so. Does that mean they will hold? Of course not. Of course not. We're probably somewhere around here, I guess. It's a bit large, but it's fine. It's okay. Maybe. Meaning if we start to resume higher here, it would be in favor of URA compared to silver. Again, both can do well and all that, but for now it's definitely silver miners that is in the driving seat. But I have a feeling. Oh, January 2026. No, not really. Oh, pass. Yeah, pass. I think pass. Oh, I mean, I think we can share it here, right? I think it's fine. Long was down here, roughly 18. Target. That's kind of nasty. That is kind of nasty, isn't it? Yeah, it has open skies. I mean, it's just, I mean, it looks disgustingly good. Looks absolutely insane on every metric. Head and shoulder patterns, 20 years in the making. Just breaking here. If we get a retest, if we do, like 40, that's your you know, gift. That's a gift. Oh, thank you, Hugh. You didn't have to do that. Valerius warrants. Oh, okay, warrants again. I'm not really the best guy when it comes to, you know, options and all that, warrants, and that's not me. But let's have a check. I think it had a good moment where it was. Ah, okay. Valaris limited here. Okay. I mean, technically we haven't been hitting the target from that head and shoulder down at the bottom here. Right, technically. So, but also it has been, the fumes has been a little bit of, I wouldn't say meh, but just give me a moment here. I'm just thinking a little bit. I'm just thinking here just a tiny bit. Yeah. That's contract drilling, right? Bit of a danger here, to be honest. Let me just think here for one moment. 2 hourly seems to be. You can see here we clearly broke down from this, you know, downtrend here. So yeah, I think I have the my thoughts in. Yeah, we have been breaking down from this, what is that, half a year? Meaning it has opened up a move where we could see the neckline being tested again, because that's the low from the formation here. So we could see 42 come into play. And right now breaking down. And I mean, we have come really far, so maybe it's just a bit of an overreaction, but we shall see. Backtest. Now we're coming down here again. So what happens here is very important. And if we get back in above basically, let's call it 52, 51, 52 here, it's just a mega false breakdown. Right. But it would also be, it wouldn't be nice to take out, again, breakdown, backtest. Right, that wouldn't be nice. So, and you can see here also, again, I just love the Bollinger Band because you can see the volatility. So this was the low from the breakdown, the retest. So just be, again, if we start to come down here, that's when things could become a bit nasty. What is momentum telling us? Do we get anything on momentum? Momentum also, you can see here, in danger. 2 hourly though. Printing red momentum, so it's definitely under pressure. Definitely. And on the daily, yeah, under pressure really. So it depends on your time frame. But it has opened up. It has opened up for a, again, a further move down, like 16% or so. That is a possibility now. That's very much in the cards right now for this one here. This is the neckline right here, and the lows from the uptrend. So what did cause this drop here on Friday? It was rather big, right? Why did it? Any news or anything? 10%. Was it just together with oil? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it looks a bit more bearish than bullish here, to be honest, right? And the important thing right now, very quickly, regain 52, regain the lows here and the uptrend. That's so important. Okay, that's strange, but yeah, maybe it's just, you know, the expectations of oil. Again, we just looked at oil before, and it just can't seem to break the downtrend. Every time we get to that trend line, it just, yeah. There's a bit of horizontal support here. Again, it's so important what happens here. This is the 50-minute. You can clearly get, again, breakdown here, back test, bit of a bear flag going on. So yeah, I think yeah, that's my stance here. Yeah, that's my stance on it. So very fragile here after that breakdown, and bear flagging currently. Yeah, that's really not, again, in the short term, whatever that is, you know, going into the next, if we start to come down here, the next month or two, right? And hopefully this one holds. I'm just checking here if we have some larger structures that we have missed. It's a bit funky, nasty breakdown here. Remember, this is weekly stuff, so it's a lot more. Yeah, no, nothing changed really. Very key what's happening here. I'll just put on some alerts so I will get the notification. Just for, just to see. So now we have the, again, the white line. If we get above 42 or 52, I get the alert. If the bear flag breaks either way, I get the alert, and if it takes out the low from the bear flag, I get the alert. So now I basically don't need to look at it, if I didn't, Did they have warrants as well? Can I see those here? Belarus? I don't know if I can. I suppose it is this one here, right? I can have to add warrants. It's not a... I don't know. Back to the lows here. I mean, we should see a bounce here. Typically, you see a bounce, but clearly we are in some sort of downtrend here. Yeah, there it is. That's the downtrend. Something like that. Drawn very quickly, by the way, very quickly. So yeah, obviously it needs to break that. It needs to break that before anything can happen, right? Until then, it's just stuck in a downtrend. Yeah, maybe it's more sensitive. But this one here, I think, was the same time with the price on the overall chart as well. That was deadly. Oh, that's deadly. But again, how? Yeah, that's very deadly. I do like this though, the reaction here this week. Again, if you're into RSI, you definitely have some weekly bullish divergence here. So again, we need to break the downtrend, of course, and then to be extra safe, you want to take out that candle here, or that zone there. So, but we shall see. Again, warrants and all that, I don't really play. So, yeah. I hope that helped. Again, especially the stock chart. Interesting time here. Again, it should, I say should, happen within the resolution or whatever you want to call it. We should see within a week. Again, I hate to do time, put a timestamp on, but within a week, I think, yeah, 5 trading days or so. 5 trading days, roughly. It's hanging in there. I'm just trying to see if I can... Yeah, that's my take. I hope it helped. I hope it helped. That was my views then. Yeah, EXK. EXK silver again is doing... Basically, not everyone, but most of the silver bigger guys are doing well. The smaller ones are slowly coming to life, but it depends on your time frame, Ricky. To me, this is just this is a 20-year, right? Yeah. You have a perfect wedge basically, and you have just, in September here you broke out. Just let it run. I mean, again, you have just been breaking a 20-year long-term macro pattern, and you have been running for like what, 3 months or so. This is just beginning, and yeah, let it run for sure. We're gonna reach the all-time highs quite easily because it's very close by, 13, but ultimately we're gonna rally higher as well. Again, if we take, oops, not that one, if we take the initial momentum that took us in, wow, don't do that. Then you can see here, depending on how we measure, I mean, it has a long way to run really. 32, potentially over 100, with all that, 20-year, a 20-year setup. Again, if you divide it by 7, that's it. That's like a good, I would say, guide. Like a little bit of a default thing. That's the how long the initial big momentum really is. 3 years in this case. Again, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but it's a good kind of like a rule of thumb, you can say. But again, this is, you know, what I call bread and butter setups, you know. And I do like them all the way down to like 1 year. If you really get, you know, like 1 year or more, I mean, you have just compressed, you know, momentum here, or the moving averages, which again, I don't use for my decisions, but it's a good extra little, you know, check mark to have. So momentum here is just pushing up, and it's just getting started really. So any type of pullback that we're getting, any bullish setups in these stocks is a buy. One could argue that we're setting up for a again, this is shorter term, but we're setting up for a move to 15-16 bucks here, just based on that whole head and shoulder cup and handle play. So yeah, Endeavor looks sick, and also we're long since $6 here, basically. $6. Maybe we could have gotten in a little bit earlier, but at like 5. But again, we just waited for the big pattern to break. So it's a big player, 3 billion. So it's okay. Look at this one here, just getting started, right? These are 3 quarterly candles going back 20 years, and we have just been printing 2, 1.5 basically after the breakout. So that is really darn good. That's insanely good. Again, remember, anything, any bull flag, whatever you're getting on the lower time frames, in this case you probably would want to look on the daily. That's your time frame to look on entries, because right now the monthly end is actually in charge. Maybe even the 3 monthly is in charge right now. So very long term macro motion has been put in place here once we broke 6, and you want to drop down a few time frames in order to snipe your entry. Yeah. So hopefully it follows suit here. Again, I want to end this one here with just again talking about the miners. Just a quick sec here. Only doing 2% today. But we are getting to very close to all-time highs for the SIL. Upper rail has been hit here, even though why is that not? Upper rail is getting hit here, so we shall see. Again, Monday could be or will be, what's it called? A very interesting open here if we can hold these silver levels. Again, the Canadian market will open again, and we should see volume come in to minus. Right? Should see. But if we look at, for instance, what do we have here? Minorium, is it gold? Or is it silver? It is. You can see here Minorium, for instance, on the OTC today, up 14%. So even though we didn't have the Canadian markets, you know, it still produced insanely nice here. Good. I have nothing further, guys. So I will leave you and get some sleep, and we will have one weekend of waiting to see what silver's gonna do. So let's have a look here. 10% today. Look for big red candles if we get those. I'm not calling a top, that is a losing game, but yeah, interesting times for sure. That's it, guys. Have an amazing day, and stay safe, and have if we don't talk, of course, have a great New Year's Eve. in like, what is that, 5 days. Don't do anything dumb there. So, see you around, boys and girls. Cheers.